Hello there. The central government coming out today with a very strong ordinance to protect doctors and other health workers. Anybody who attacks any health professional, especially in the discharge of their duties, faces very stringent punishment. Months, perhaps even years in prison, heavy fines, and there will be very fast action taken in each of these cases. It is, of course, really been an obnoxious thing that we've been seeing, where people have been attacking doctors and other health professionals when they are trying to help people and save their lives. So now an ordinance has come which will make this a non-bailable offence and very stringent action that will be taken against it. When it comes to the spread of COVID itself, well, 20,000 cases in India. But as we've been telling you, the rate is slowing down. I just want to take you through some of the state numbers, because that really is what has to be monitored very carefully. Because take a look at this. When COVID first came to India, 100% of all cases were there in Kerala. And then states like Haryana and Uttar Pradesh came in and they had a large number of the shares. Now the picture has continued to change over the weeks, as you can see from this research done by Parakar, and now you have a situation where about 25% of all cases are there in Maharashtra, but a couple of other states are now coming up very, very fast. And Gujarat perhaps would be the one state that would be causing a lot of concern right now, because if you look at the rate at which doubling is taking place, in Maharashtra, cases are doubling every 8 days, which is not that far away from the all India number. In Gujarat, cases are doubling every 5 days. Among the other big states, Delhi doubling every 10 days or so, Rajasthan doubling every 9 days. And then of course you've got good states in Haryana and Tamil Nadu. Every 13 to 15 days is when cases are doubling. Kerala doesn't seem to be doubling happening at all. Let's just quickly take you through all the major stories at this hour.
As attacks on medics across the country amid the coronavirus pandemic continue unabated, the Union Cabinet has approved promulgation of Ordinance to amend the Epidemic Diseases Act of 1897. Once President Ramnath Kovind gives his nods, acts of violence against the medics will be cognizable and non-bailable offences. Culprits could face a jail term of between 6 to 7 years depending on the severity of the injury to the medics. The tweak in the colonial era law will also provide compensation for injured healthcare workers or for damage or loss to their property.
After more than 50 journalists were found coronavirus positive in Mumbai, the Information and Broadcasting Ministry has issued an advisory to all media houses. Expressing concern over journalists catching the virus, the ministry has advised journalists to take necessary precautions while visiting the COVID-19 hotspots. Further, the management of media houses have been told to take care of their field as well as office staff.
Gujarat on Wednesday tipped Delhi to be the second worst hit state after Maharashtra from the coronavirus pandemic. Gujarat recorded 239 new COVID-19 cases and 19 deaths in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to 2,178 and deaths to 90. Maharashtra continues to be the worst hit Indian state with 552 new cases and 19 deaths in the last 24 hours. Maharashtra has a total of 5,218 infections and has seen 251 deaths so far. The West Bengal government has assured the centre that it will abide by all its orders related to the ongoing lockdown. The state government has written to the Home Ministry assuring full cooperation to the two visiting central teams assessing the ground situation in the state. The truce came a day after the state and the centre locked horns over central teams. The centre had warned the state government that its directive to COVID-19 are binding on all states.
A major block of the Rajiv Gandhi Bhavan, which houses the Ministry of Civil Aviation, has been sealed after an employee who worked there tested positive for COVID-19. The B wing of the ministry has been sealed off and sanitization work is being carried out at the premises. According to the ministry, the employee had attended office on April 15th. His test results came on Tuesday. Officials who have had contact with the staffer will be tested. The government has directed a phased return to office of the central government ministry officers. The new guidelines calls for 100% attendance from officers above deputy secretary level, with junior staff attendance of 33%.
MP finally has a health minister amid the coronavirus pandemic. The state, which got a new chief minister a month ago, was without a health minister as Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan failed to appoint ministers after taking oath. He finally inducted 5 ministers on Tuesdays and portfolios were allocated on Wednesday. Narottam Mishra was given the important ministries of Health and Home. Kamal Patel has been made Agriculture Minister. Tulsi Silawat has been given Water Resources. Govind Singh Rajput has been made Food Processing Minister, and Meena Singh has been given Tribal Welfare Department. Facebook has announced a $5.7 billion investment in Reliance Jio, making it the largest minority shareholder in Jio Platforms Limited. The social media giant said it would focus on collaborating its messaging platform WhatsApp with Reliance e-commerce venture JioMart to enable people to connect with small businesses. Facebook's investment will translate to a 9.99% equity stake in Jio Platforms on a fully diluted basis, Jio said in a statement. The Facebook deal is a part of value unlocking by RIL to cut debt.
Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan on Wednesday underwent a test for Covid-19 after a philanthropist who he had met recently tested positive. The results are expected later in the day. Faisal Edhi, who's the son of late philanthropist Abdul Sattar Edhi and chairman of the Edhi Foundation, met Imran last week to hand over a check for the coronavirus relief fund. Edhi later tested positive.
US President Donald Trump has demanded Howard University pay back nearly $9 million in coronavirus relief aid. He said it was wrong that an institution with a $40 billion endowment should receive stimulus funds.
Harvard should pay that money back. I want Harvard to pay the money back, okay? And if they won't do that, then we won't do something else. They have to pay it back. I don't like it. I don't like it. This is meant for workers. This isn't meant for one of the richest institutions, not only far beyond schools, in the world.
Howard has rejected Trump's demand, saying it planned to direct 100% of the funds towards financial assistance for students and will not be using any of it to cover institutional costs. The university said it received the grant through an educational relief program that was part of the $2.3 trillion stimulus passed at the end of March, which also included a larger fund for helping small businesses.
The United Nations has warned that the world is on the brink of hunger pandemic along with widespread famines of biblical proportions caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Head of the World Food Programme said 2020 would see the worst humanitarian crisis since World War II. The agency said 821 million people go to bed hungry every night all over the world, and post the pandemic an additional 200 million people could be pushed to the brink of starvation by the end of 2020. Those most at risk are in 10 countries affected by conflict, economic crisis, climate change, which include Yemen, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Afghanistan, Venezuela, Ethiopia, South Sudan, Syria, Nigeria and Haiti.